Micah Hyde, Christian Benford, and potentially Terrel Bernard all being out versus the Broncos. More injuries on this defensive side of the football. Why I'm not necessarily worried against this matchup against the Broncos. But welcome to my channel, Bills News Consolidated. We need to discuss these injuries here. Micah Hyde being officially ruled out, as well as Christian Benford and potentially Terrel Bernard, who is still in concussion protocol. And the reason why I'm not necessarily worried against the Denver Broncos here, it's because they don't have the passing attack as the Cincinnati Bengals. You look at what the Denver Broncos have done so far after losing 70 points to the Miami Dolphins. They have really committed to running the ball offensively to keep the game close, to run out time, to keep opposing quarterbacks on the sidelines, to minimize the points, to minimize the scoring. We've heard this saying on my channel and in the NFL for a very long time, that a great offense is the best defense. So when the Denver Broncos are miscommunicating, missing assignments, giving up 70 points against the Miami Dolphins, the best way is to play complementary football and to rely on your offense to be a defense, meaning running the football. Javonte Williams and McLaughlin, some P. Ryan, right? They got three-headed monster there in Denver that they've been really running the ball too. Now, I really think when you look at the players that are out here, and we're going to start with Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde is more of a pass coverage safety. It's very rare that we see Micah Hyde in the box, right? He can do it, but he's not a Jordan Poyer. He's not a Taylor Rapp. So you have to look at who is replacing Micah Hyde, and he's making his first appearance, Damar Hamlin. And I think that's definitely going to hype up this Buffalo Bills team on Monday Night Football. But what does Damar Hamlin present for the Buffalo Bills? And if you watch a year ago or two, I made a game film study review on Damar Hamlin, and it shows how awesome he is in the box. He has such a great knack for the football. The TFLs, the tackles for loss, right? He really knows how to knife in there and do a great job in the box against the run. So when you know the Denver Broncos are running the ball heavy, Damar Hamlin, I think, is potentially even a better tackler than Micah Hyde. Now, I would say going against the Cincinnati Bengals or the Kansas City Chiefs, these high potent passing attacks, it'd probably be advantageous to have Micah Hyde out there. But in this type of situation, Damar Hamlin is probably going to be facing a lot more run and will be needed in run support. So I think Damar Hamlin is definitely a great fit for this matchup against the Denver Broncos. And it really doesn't stop there, because Terrel Bernard is also potentially out for the Buffalo Bills here in a concussion protocol. And I think Terrel Bernard, obviously a little bit smaller in size, right? Not necessarily the best at filling up running lanes and gaps. He's not a big type linebacker. Does a decent job against the run, but when it comes down to taking on 300-plus pound offensive linemen and driving those guys back into the run, you know, Terrel Bernard, that's not his style. He's more of a pass coverage type linebacker. And obviously he got hurt in the second quarter against the Cincinnati Bengals, which definitely hurt us because we didn't have A.J. Klein. And that is what is so important for this game, is that A.J. Klein is here for the Buffalo Bills. Clearly a bigger, fuller, drive these 300-pound offensive linemen back into the play type of linebacker. A.J. Klein was not only here in Buffalo, but he was with Sean McDermott in Carolina when he went against Sean Peyton's offenses in the Saints. So A.J. Klein not only understands Sean McDermott's defense, he knows the philosophy of Sean Peyton. He's gone against Sean Peyton an awful lot in his career, and I think he's going to understand the running concepts, the running plays. He is probably going to be starting at middle linebacker. Now, he is coming off an injury, and I don't know. We have to really hope that A.J. Klein is going to be there. And if he is, clearly another player here that is better against the run for the Buffalo Bills versus Terrel Bernard versus Micah Hyde. And you got another guy here in Christian Benford. Last week, who did we see rise to the frickin' occasion? Dane Jackson shut out Jamar Chase, did an excellent job against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I mean, if not the best, one of the best passing attacks in the NFL. Dane Jackson held his own and did a fantastic job. And not only that, he did an awesome job in run support. We saw him come in and make some great tackles, some shoelace tackles. He made a great tackle in the goal line on a screen pass to Jamar Chase, shed a block and tackled him short of the end zone. Dane Jackson, we require our corners to tackle too. And Dane Jackson is definitely balling out of control here for the Buffalo Bills. Did an excellent job against the Cincinnati Bengals. And we have another guy here, right? Rasul Douglas that Buffalo Bills traded for. I think he really showed his knowledge of the game last week with only even 2 days of practice. I mean, Rasul Douglas didn't have any screw-ups. He played very sound in the game film study that I reviewed. Did an excellent job. Same with Linval Joseph. I mean, Linval Joseph was grabbing guys and they're throwing them to the side like rag dolls last week. And, I think he did an excellent job even getting in on Joe Burrow and grabbing him between the legs, giving him a wedgie and slamming him right on his face. I mean, Linval Joseph, Rasul Douglas are also going to be stepping up here in place of Christian Benford. So, you really look at what the Denver Broncos are going to be doing against the Buffalo Bills, and it's definitely going to be running the football. And who do we have here, right? Micah Hyde out. Well, Damar Hamlin, arguably better in the box, a better tackler, better at knifing in there and making tackles for loss against the run. I love what Damar Hamlin presents here for the Bills, plus the ability to hype up this fan base, to re-energize this crowd and stadium on Monday Night Football. It's going to be absolutely huge. And then A.J. Klein, the expertise, not only in Sean McDermott's scheme, maybe not the best in pass coverage, but the Denver Broncos are really not passing it. They are running the football. And you talk about just A.J. Klein's overall size, his ability to stop the run, to penetrate, to drive offensive linemen back into the play. I really think A.J. Klein is a better fit versus the Broncos than even Terrel Bernard at this point. It's absolutely huge. And I already mentioned Dane Jackson. I mean, Dane Jackson, just review the tape, review my previous video. You'll see the opening clips of Dane Jackson, all the tackles and all the plays that he was making last week. So we're likely going to see Rasul Douglas, Dane Jackson having solidified roles on the Sean McDermott defense. Another thing that I think hindered us last week was trying to rotate these corners in and out of the game. We had Rasul Douglas, we had Christian Benford, we had Dane Jackson kind of rotating in and out. So maybe having some solidified guys, even hearing Ed Oliver say like, hey, look, I didn't play first down. I didn't play second down. I only played third down versus the Bengals. And he even admitted, I need those opening downs to really excel and get a feel and rhythm of the game. So this is absolutely huge. I don't want to make light of the injuries. I just think these injuries aren't that big of a deal going against a running attack offense like the Denver Broncos. But I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this, please hit like, consider subscribing for future content. Totally am amped up about this game. It's time we get back on track, Bills Mafia. Appreciate you. Go Bills.